no, Mr. Robot, you gotta pay me the money first if you want to get it, if you want to get your food. And he was like, no, I just need to have it because I'm a robot. And I was like, no, bitch, you better give me a tip. And that's my horrible pizza work story with the robot.
Makes sense. At least yours was a robot. Mine was a dinosaur. All I got was, screamed at and slobbered. Yeah. It was delicious.
I've been thinking about going to the doctor to get this checked out. I'm going to pull my pants down now. What do you guys think? Should I get it checked?
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Don't think it's supposed to be, 3 colors.
Yeah, I don't. It kind of looks like the Fortress of Solitude. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Stuck in my past, about to relapse. I keep running back to you.
But today I am stupidly given the power to talk because V's on mute. So I'm Valley or Sally. I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm on Twitter a lot. And, I do this podcast with the amazing
Shweebs Phoenix. Say your name. Say your name.
I'm spiraling.
Say your
Phoenix. I'm Phoenix.
Asshole.
I'm Dragon. No, that's not right.
No, it's not. You're a Phoenix. Okay. I am a YouTuber. I tried Twitch. It didn't work out for me. I can't get it to work on my computer, so it has a sad face the whole time I look at it. But I am a YouTuber. You can find me on Twitter at Shweebs237 because someone apparently has at Shweebs, which made me very sad.
Same.
But overall, fun stuff. Yeah.
And I'm a self-frying chicken.
That's right. Oh, but Phoenix also does pop up on my channel every now and then because he's adorable. I mean, just look at this face. You viewers can't look at this face, but I can look at this face, and this is a face of a dick.
I told you I'm a self-frying chicken. As soon as I get close to the end, I become flaming drumsticks.
We know. And
from the KFC goodness, I do rise again.
And speaking of KFC and pizza, I think everyone listening's probably had really horrible work stories, either from their first job or their current job. So we're just gonna talk about really embarrassing work stories. So, Phoenix, why don't you start?
Ooh, should I start with the tame one, or should I go more into the nearly killed myself?
You know what? I would start off with the tame one, and by the time we come back, we should do more crazy stuff. Give the viewers a chance to kind of sink into it.
Oh, I've got a good one. Oh, man, I had a fun one with this one. This one is when I was working Taco Bell. It was late night. It was about, I'd say, 12:30 at night, 12:45. We closed at 1. So last customers in the night usually are drunk, stoned, or some combination of the two. You could tell that these girls who were underage were clearly drinking a lot.
Oh, no.
They pulled into the drive-thru and they were screaming. And I don't mean just yelling. I mean as loud and percussive as possible into our headset. And we had just recently got it reset so that we could hear the sound of a fly fart through the speaker.
Oh, no.
So you were getting every decibel.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh,
we actually took the headset off and set it down and could still hear the order.
Damn.
So we're like, okay. And the manager's getting slowly more angry because she's like, it's okay, guys. You don't need to shout. We can hear you just fine. And they just would not take the hint that they were literally screaming into the thing. So my manager's like, okay, you need to go and deal with them because I don't deal with drunk people. I can't. I'm like, yeah, I don't really like dealing with drunk people too. She's like, yeah, well, you pulled short straw. Good luck. So I get almost to the window. I stop and I go, oh, I might get fired for this. I come around the corner, smile, open the window, and start yelling as loud as I can at them. Doing the normal script of, hi, how are you today? Your total is... And then I would just continue to scream at them, the whole thing. And I did it like I was doing it normally, but at 30 decibels too high. And they're terrified in the car. the girl in the passenger seat is fully leaning into the lap of the other girl, or the driver's seat into the passenger seat. Yeah, it was like she was trying to move one seat away because she was terrified of me. And as soon as I finished, I got the money back, and I went around the corner, and I just started busting out laughing. The other guy I was working with runs up to the window, opens it, and goes, "I'm so sorry. The battery in his hearing aid died. He can't hear himself. I am so sorry." And comes back around the corner, and I'm like, "You did not just do that." He goes, "Yeah, but I saved your job." So I go back to the window with their food and continue to scream at them for the rest of this whole thing. And the best part is their looks of terror turned to looks of pity.
Oh my god.
No, the absolute best part about this, we got a phone call 2 days later on our surveys mentioning how great it is that the store would hire somebody with that level of a handicap, and that he did such a great job. But they never got my name. But we knew exactly what was going on. All of us on that night shift who saw that went, "Oh my god, they actually called to compliment the store. Oh, I can't believe they did that." And the best part is like the district manager is like, "What is it? We don't have any handicap at this store." And we're like, "You know what? That probably was meant for another store, and they punched in the wrong number." We've had that happen a couple times.
Best part is I remember you coming home and telling me that story because you were still giggle fitting about it.
Oh, it was a great night. So great.
That's funny. Well, Sally, tell us one of yours.
Oh my god, okay.
Wait, intermission. What the fuck was that?
What was that?
Phone went off. Turn it down. Don't interrupt the podcast. We have important stories to share.
Oh, it was an alarm. I didn't set it. I don't know why it went off.
For 10:30 at night?
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell were you doing at 10:30 at night? Who is she? Who is she?
Oh.
Sally Five Fingers.
Shame on you.
Drama channel.
Oh, that makes it funnier. I meant the old Sally and her five friends. It's Rosie Paul. That's the name.
Rosie. I was like, why the fuck are you saying she's right there? Right there. God dang it.
I did, didn't I?
You did. You just did.
We're going to have to
edit
that.
Edit.
I don't care if my name's out there. It's known. I don't care.
I said her name. That's the point.
Oh.
You said my name, you dick face. All right.
My bad.
All right. Cut. All right, Sal, go ahead and tell us one of yours.
Okay, so I used to work at a pizza place, and it was like my second job after I was a nanny, so it was like my first time not being around slobbering kids that were always sick, and I was like sick 24/7 because they would just want to hug me all the time. So I was really happy because I was like, oh, this is something different and new. And my first week on the job, I got to close, and I worked weekends. And if anyone knows how pizza works, so my first ever fast food job, and they throw me doing closing during like the weekends doing pizza. So we closed at like 11:30, midnight, and we take our last call at like 11:45, and then we like lock up. And right as we're locking up, we get this phone call like 11:45, and we're like, oh god, okay. And so it was my job on the phone because we'd like rotate shifts. Someone would be making the pizza, someone would be washing dishes, someone would be on the phones. I was on the phones at the time. So I get this phone call, and they're like, yeah, can we get like 6 pizzas? And they're like saying like how much they are. And I look at my boss, and I'm like, can we do this? Because it's like right when we're closing. He's like, oh, just do it. It's fine. Someone lives right around there. We'll just take the drop off. The driver lives right near there. So I get this order, and then at the end of it, I hear, oh, I know your voice. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you're my student in high school.
Oh,
so my former teacher, my first week of my job, calls in stoned as fuck.
Oh my god.
To get pizza. Because I got the job right after I graduated, so I was like, okay. And then I figured out what teacher it was. It was like the most strict teacher, like there. And you never would have guessed they would have done something like this. And I'm like, because I looked at the receipt, like when they signed it and paid for it, when the driver came back, and I was like, oh my god. And I just like text all my friends, and I'm like, you will not guess who got the pizza when they're super stoned. And they're like, what?
Oh my god.
That was probably the craziest. And it wasn't to do with the job, it's who made the order, but that was mine.
I don't know if I necessarily have, like, embarrassing stories. A lot of it's more, like, funny, haha stuff, and then one was a life-threatening thing, and then the rest was abuse at the very last job that I had. And I feel like the life-threatening one I want to save for our next round because that one's crazy. And that one's mine.
I got one.
What? Which one?
It was a McDonald's one.
Oh, I'm gonna
Ooh.
McDonald's are always fun. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just saying, if you couldn't think of one,
okay.
I got a
story. You were gonna got a story? Okay. Well, okay, I can tell about the very first day that I did work for, like, an actual business, because my technical first job was working with Phoenix's mom in a ceramic business. So, honestly, it was just family-owned, so nothing really crazy happened outside of, we need, like, 50 of this now. So, whatever. So, my first actual job was a housekeeper at the Turning Stone. And for the listeners, the Turning Stone is a very high-class casino, ritzy, very ritzy casino here in upstate New York that's owned by the Native Americans. Don't ask me which tribe, I forget. So my very first day was on Mother's Day at this very expensive, ritzy casino place. And I honestly wasn't sure what to expect employee-wise, but I was very surprised when I found out that there were people from literally all over the world. My persons that they teamed me up with, I don't know if I can use their actual names. You know what? I won't use their actual names.
Use the first letter.
No. Well, besides that point, they were, I believe, Vietnamese. I could be very wrong. All I know is that they spoke English.
I think one of them was Korean.
One was Korean?
Yeah.
Anyways, well, that can't be right, though, because they're aunt and niece.
One of them that ended up moving to the restaurant I was working at.
Oh,
was, yeah, South Korean.
Okay, but I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about the two that I got hooked up with.
I couldn't remember which ones those were.
Okay, that was the two girls.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, those two. Anyways, so they spoke English, kind of broken English, but sweethearts. And it was just great getting to know them, and they shared a bunch of cultural differences with me, and I did the same with them. And as we got to know each other, and I got really good at the job, like 6 months in, they wanted me to go for manager position, which I was like, well, that's cool. I didn't stay long enough for it to become a thing, though. But anyway, so later we get another new girl come in, and she spoke the same language as they did, and she was very shy. So I was like, all right. And they wanted me to teach her the ropes. So I was like, all right, no problem. Taught her what to do, and then we all became, like, really good friends. So what we did, because a lot of these rooms, there was always double beds. And the two girls that had taught me, what they would do is they would go in and they would together make the bed at the same time. So what we started doing in order to make it so much more fun is we'd have all four of us go into one room that has two beds, and we were like, all right, and go! Race and get the bed done as quickly as we possibly could. That shit was so funny. I really wish, like, because this story doesn't even relay how fun that was, but just the racing of us, like, all right, and go, and you have to put the thing over the mattress, and then the sheet down, and then the big quilt thing, and then you have to fluff all the pillows and put the thing back on there, and then set everything up, and then done. Was freaking hilarious. So again, not really an embarrassing or anything, but that was like my first job ever, and it was just, that's the one memory that I have from that.
That's awesome.
All right, go ahead with your Mickey D's, because I don't think I have very many, like, embarrassing,
okay, well,
stressful
this
stuff.
is one of the reasons why I hate straws in the general stance.
You don't like straws?
No, because for some reason I always get the short ones. Yeah,
fine.
I don't like straws. No, so I'm working at McDonald's. Again, it's getting close to closing. I don't know why we always get the weirdos at closing times.
Because that's the best time to drink and, you know,
Fast food life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, one of the guys comes out of the bathroom and goes, okay, I'm not doing it. I immediately go, I'm not doing it. I don't know what it is. I'm not doing it.
Oh, no.
And the manager goes into the bathroom, comes out and goes, yeah, you drew the short straw. Clean it. I go into the bathroom, and do you know what a shit tree is?
I have an idea.
It's where a person puts their ass against the wall and squeezes the cheeks shut with their hands as much as possible, and then shoots diarrhea up and down their cracks so it literally sprays out like a fucking tree. And the roots. We called it a shit tree, and it wasn't the first time we had one.
That's
we
sad.
get it like once a month. We'd have it go on, but we could never catch the guy who did it. And you'd think we would, because it's not like the shit only got on the wall. So the guy had to fucking reek on his way out. He had to smell of shit, because it got everywhere. It was on the ceiling, it was on the toilet, it was on the wall, it was everywhere. So this is why they stopped having me clean it up. I went in with a bucket of water and just threw it on the wall. Whole bucket of water. And then took the mop and spread and cleared, and the whole bathroom smelled like shit for days. And they're like, we need you to clean that like this. I'm like, well, then you're going to do it. Because if you want me to do it, I'm doing it my way, and that's going to be with me touching as little shit as possible.
Right, because that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of OSHA violations there.
Yeah. I will say though, your story reminded me of something that happened at the Turning Stone, which I will share with on the next round.
I was gonna say, that was my shit tree.
Here,
story.
I was thinking nothing happened at the Turning
Ironically,
Stone.
it was a week before Christmas, so I think the guy was trying to be festive, and the corn and carrots that were, kinda, but not really.
Stop. Ew. I'll throw up on you. Shut up. All right, Sal, go ahead.
Actually, the shit tree is good into my story.
Oh,
awesome.
When I was...
And everyone's.
It actually isn't... This isn't food related. This is when I was a nanny. And it makes more sense because, you know, there were kids involved.
Ah.
But, so there was like an 8-year-old boy, and then there was like a 5-year-old girl. And they had this massive Saint Bernard, like the sweetest freaking dog. I love this dog. I miss that dog to this day. Like, I thought it was a lap dog and it would like crush you because it would like curl up. But like the kids had their chores, and it was the boy's turn to go out and walk the dog because I was making food for his sister and him. So he's like, my mom told me I could go, you know, walk the dog and around the yard, and as long as I pick up the poop. And I'm like, okay. So I gave him like, you know, gloves and a little like doggy bag, and I'm like, okay, go on. And he doesn't come back for like 30 minutes, and I'm kind of getting worried. So I turn on like the TV for the little girl as she eats her food.
Yeah.
And I walk out, and this kid is head to toe covered in dog shit.
Oh.
Because he thought he literally, what he told me was, he was like, I went to pick it up and I slipped and I fell on it. And then and then the dog bumped into me because I was excited and knocked me into it again. And I find that hard to believe because this kid was, I mean, the sister was great. The boy was kind of an a-hole. I'm going to say it. I think he just smeared on himself just so, you know, he could, you know, take time away from his sister because he hated when anyone else got attention. So I was like, okay, fine, go take a bath. So I cleaned up as much dog shit as I could in the yard. And then I get in, and then, like, again, I don't hear anything from this kid for, like, 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, I look at the little girl, I'm like, I'm going to check on your brother. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. And she goes back to coloring, like, being this little angel that she was. And I go in the bathroom, and there was poop handprints, like, on the mirror, like, this nice big mirror. And I'm like, you just took a shower. And he's like, we're out of toilet paper. And I'm like, you didn't ask to get more toilet paper. So he, like, wiped it with his hand. And, like, I was like, oh, like, and it was so gross.
Oh my God.
And when the mom got home, I just sat her down and I said, listen, we need to talk about your son.
Yeah.
And why, he needs to ask about toilet paper and not to put dog shit on him. And a couple days later, I luckily got my pizza job, so I didn't have to go back there again.
Ugh.
The only thing I miss is that dog. The little girl was, like, very sweet, but, like, I miss the dog. That's about it. But that was my shit story.
Oh, God.
Your turn.
Okay, my turn.
Because everybody's got one. Everybody who has ever worked customer service
I've got a couple.
has dealt with
I didn't even think about the shit stories because honestly, they're so horrendous for like 3 days, and then you kind of log them away in like random files.
It didn't even matter anymore.
Right. Okay. So here's my somewhat shit story. This is again when I still worked at Turning Stone within the first 6 months of me being there. So we're up in the higher floors. And I don't know what it was with this day, but I come in and my manager's like, okay, I want you guys to do all these rooms, but leave this room for last because we have to come and help you with this. And we're like, why? The managers, mind you, they're not there to help with the rooms. All they do is organize. They tell us what to do, and then they go and do paperwork pretty much all damn day and make sure that, you know, like the concierge go and do all their crap. So all 4 of us, or however many of us was there, I don't care. We were cleaning all of our rooms, and they're like, okay, we're ready for this last room. What's up? We stand outside the door of this room, which is on the far corner, so it's got an extra door, so it seals everything. We opened the first door. The smell of pee alone, human pee, was so gag-worthy. I was just like, oh, what the hell happened? We opened the actual door, and I'm just like, oh, God. What the fuck? So we go in. The room itself wasn't necessarily messy, but just the smell. The bed was soaked. There was, I think the bathroom was a bit trashed. Apparently what had happened, oh, and that's not even the grossest part, mind you. Apparently what had happened, like this family was there and they had their kid with them. They had a single bed. So somebody wet the bed, and apparently wet it so bad that the adult person took the sheet, put it in the garbage can, and just put it in the bathroom and did nothing with it. And left it there for hours until housekeepers actually got around to finding it. So the smell just fumigated the whole room, which was oh so lovely. Mind you, no, and this was during the summer and the AC wasn't on, so hot and just yuck. So we had to go through, and they must have gotten the pee in the bathroom too, because I don't know what that was on the floor, but I guarantee it was not water. So we had to get rid of the whole mattress, all of that, clean the shower, clean the garbage, throw away everything into like a hazmat bag and stuff. And amongst us throwing away the sheets, because we didn't know anything about these people and, you know, what happened, because we just don't keep stuff like that, we found a pair of, for those of you that are kind of squeamish, like, turn this off for 15 seconds. We found a pair of bloodied underwear. And I'm just like, oh my God. Are you serious?
Pad.
Yeah, but that was the only thing that we found, was just that. Everything else, it was just piss. And I was just like, oh my God. So, yeah, so after cleaning all that, we still couldn't allow anybody in the room because it smelled so bad. So they had like these special floor fans, and then we got cups of vinegar and just put them in certain spots of the room and then just had the fans going. It took literally all day to get that smell out. And then like an extra 5 hours for the vinegar smell to dissipate. So those said persons got billed a hefty fine for essentially making your room unavailable for that long. Oh my god. Ew. Should we get to the more crazier stories now?
I was actually going to tell the story about the old lady.
Oh, Walmart?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I worked Walmart. This is a Black Friday story. Black Friday's hellish for the people who are going there intentionally and want to be there to pick up the stuff. Mm-hmm. For the people working there, I want everybody who hears this to say thank you the next time that you go to a Black Friday event, because they have to be there to deal with every single asshole like you constantly.
And trust me, they don't want to fucking be there either.
Exactly. So, I was put in charge of security. Not directly in charge, but I was in charge of this one section, which happened to be overlooking the raffling of a very, very large set of TVs. And I'm talking 80-inch flat screens. I didn't know they made them that big. That is stupid. That is a wall. Why do you need a wall of TV? But that's not the point. That's not the point of the story. The first 150 customers that come in get a ticket. You come back with your ticket, you can then purchase that numbered TV.
Okay. Fair enough, makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. And they only have one TV on site, so you could see what it is. So what you're doing is you're paying, and then they ship it to your house, which is even better than trying to get it into your car, because it's an 80-inch screen TV. Flat screen, by the way, so it's very fragile, especially at 80 inches. You don't want it to be in your car during the trip. And it's warranted all the way until it gets to your door.
Anyways.
And then there's, year warranty stuff.
Continue.
So, we had just given out the 150th ticket. All the raffles were gone. So now my job is just to make sure people don't cross this barricade that we have. That's it. Because we had redesigned the aisleways, so the only way in was this one section that we had barricaded off. And this little old lady comes up and goes, are we still able to get the TVs? And she's walking with a cane. And I'm like, I'm very sorry, ma'am. We actually just gave out the last of the tickets. The TVs are no longer available. And she goes, but I've been here for 20 minutes in line. I go, ma'am, I understand that, but we have a very set number of TVs that we can offer. And we have just given out the 150th ticket. That's the last one we can give. We have no more TVs to offer. She goes, what about the floor model? Ma'am, I am not able to give you an answer on that. Can you call a manager? I'd love to, but they're currently running the rest of the store during this Black Friday event.
Pause for a second. For those of you that are customers, that's fucking annoying. If the answer is no, fuck off.
Look, if I tell you the answer is no, it's gonna be no is no is no is no is no.
Right.
It's gonna stay no. The answer's not gonna change. It's not like manager's not gonna come out on Black Friday and go, oh yeah, hey, we actually have an extra TV. Sorry about that. Here you go.
Right.
No.
Or, if that does happen, good for you, but not always is that going to be the case.
It's never going to happen with their main items, the ones that show up in the magazine, and it says there are a limited number. They will never do that.
Right, but the other thing is, put yourselves in the shoe of the person working there. They have to put up with you. So, if you were that person, would you want an asshole to come up to you and ask you a bazillion questions and then do the rest of what happens in this story?
Oh, yeah. So
here's the rest of the story.
She's like, well, what if somebody doesn't show up with their ticket? I go, then they don't get the TV. She goes, can I get that TV? I'm like, oh my God. Ma'am, the sale is over as of when that last ticket was sold. If they don't claim their TV, that is completely on them. They have the raffle, that's their choice. And they have up to 30 days to claim it. Which means if they don't come today, they can come tomorrow, the day after, the day after, the day after, and so on and so forth until their 30 days are over. After the 30 days, the company voids the ticket, they no longer have access to the TV, and the company keeps the TV. They then sell it off later.
Right.
I thought that was pretty straightforward, so I turned to look at somebody over here, pretty much giving her the "we're done with this conversation" shoulder. She hits me in the shins with her cane, and I'm like, "Ma'am, please don't do that." And it's not a little love tap. but I'm wearing the security uniform and I'm standing there and I'm trying to stay professional. Because if you hit an old lady, you kind of lose your job at Walmart. That's kind of, I guess, standard policy. So she's like, I'm like, ma'am, hitting me isn't going to get a ticket. I am not a Mario block. You cannot hit me 100 times and suddenly a ticket will pop out. It's not going to happen. So she hits me again, and I'm not going to stand there and be whacked repeatedly. So when she goes to swing it the third time, I grab the cane and throw it over the barricade. And then proceed to stand there like nothing happened. She is freaking out because her cane is now on the other side of the barricade. She's like, I need my cane. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't know. Did you have a cane when you arrived? She's like, yes, I did. You just threw it over the barricade. I'm like, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
So she's screaming enough that a manager finally does come over. And so he's like, he asks her what's wrong and tries to calm her down and goes, okay. He comes over to me and goes, did you throw the cane? I go, I don't know what she's talking about. I was standing over here and suddenly my shin started to hurt. And then she was complaining that her cane was gone. I have no idea what she's talking about. He looks behind me and sees a cane lying on the ground. It's not like this cane disappeared. It was laying in the middle of the aisle. It's perfectly visible from where we are. And she's like, I'm going to need my cane. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, well, tell him to go get it. And the manager's like, leans in really close to me and goes, did she hit you with the cane? I go, multiple times, and I asked her to stop. He goes, oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. He's actually supposed to be standing here. He cannot cross the barricade. That's his job. He has to stay here. She goes, well, you go get it. Ma'am, actually, I'm supposed to be in another aisle right now, so I'm going to go and take care of that. I'll come back once I finish that, then I'll help you. She's like, how long's that going to be? He goes, well, considering it's a pretty big problem, probably 4 to 5 hours. She goes, well, I'm just going to go over there. Ma'am, if you go over that barricade, I will have you forcibly removed from the store by security.
What an awesome manager.
Story. Don't be an asshole, especially to those that work in, what's it called? Sales.
Yeah.
Or just anybody working a fucking job. You are not above them because they work that damn job. I guarantee if they went to the job that you're at and acted like that, you'd be fucking mad too.
My point is this. You can have all the attitude in the world. That most people will just brush off and call it a good day. You're an asshole. They get it. You're there on Black Friday. That automatically makes you an asshole. The level of asshole changes depending on your personality, but you're already an asshole because they now have to deal with hundreds of people just like you or worse. Now, the moment you physically assault somebody, the game has changed. Because under normal circumstances, if that had been in the street and you had assaulted somebody, they'd have hit you with whatever you just attacked. So the fact that I did not beat this old lady to death with her own cane, I won 1,000,000 points for. I won Employee of the Year, and I won 1,000,000 points.
I would not have been as lenient. If she had hit me with her damn cane, I don't care how old you are, I will slap you because you have just physically assaulted me, and I guarantee I'd fucking win the court case.
Oh, I had bruises. That's how hard she hit me.
Yeah. I don't care how old she is. I would have fucking decked her right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, wait. Moving on. Sally, it's your turn.
I need time to think about one, so you go ahead.
Okay. Let me think. Okay, well, I was there during that Walmart thing. While you were having that issue with the old lady, I was selling laptops. Essentially the same thing, limited number. Nothing really crazy happened over there outside of we were trying to get this one guy to understand, and he had cash. I was like, these people are not going to show back up. Give him one. But whatever. Ultimately, that was a very uneventful thing for me outside of just people just being people. Let me see. Where did we work after that? Walmart. Oh, we worked the telemarketing. I guess I might as well share the telemarketing story.
Well, no, because we got a few telemarketing stories. We have...
Yeah, but I want to share that one because that's the only one that I really remember.
Well, then let me go...
Wait! I know of another one that I want to share. I'm going to share this one. It's not bad. It's funny. Now, I will use the real name for this because I don't know his last name, so it's fine.
And neither will you.
Right. And the reason that I want to tell this story, I will explain after. So this is when Phoenix and I both worked at telemarketing years ago. We were still in college when we were doing this. And we sold literally everything under the sun. During this particular point in our lives, when this event happened, the telemarketing gig was starting to die out. So there was like maybe 8 of us that night doing a grave shift and selling stuff. So calls were very slim. Our buddy Rosario, out of all of us, actually got a call. And he's doing his thing, and he's doing it very very professional. He's got the sale. Good on him. Somebody starts throwing paper balls at him. Phoenix. And he's on the phone still doing this sale, trying his damnedest not to laugh. Then I throw one at him. Then somebody else throws another paper ball at him. And he's not chuckling. He is very stone-faced, doing his best. And then all of a sudden, we all get together, make like 15 paper balls, and chuck them all at the same time.
Wait. So explain. This is what happened. If you've seen the movie 500, when suddenly the rain of arrows came down.
You mean the movie 300?
That's the one.
But
it's not like we threw them one at a time. No, we threw every one of them at the same time.
Just a huge lob of paper balls just landed in his lap. And then in like 2 seconds afterwards, the call finally ends, and he goes, "You guys suck." Oh my God, it was so great. He had the biggest smile on. He was laughing his ass off. He's like, I'm gonna start throwing these at you guys.
He did. He spent the rest of the night making sure that not one of those stayed in his cubicle.
Oh yeah.
And he hit other people with every one of them.
Oh yeah. Well, he hit us. It was so funny.
It was a good night.
But the reason that I wanted to share that story was because he, for not wanting to give away too much information, he passed away later that year. So it was just the one fond memory that I had of him. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, I could still see him smiling. That shit was so funny.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I want to tell you guys about my biggest sale I've ever made in telemarketing. Because I've got 2 sales.
I didn't know what this one is. Which one?
I've got my mail enhancement, and then I've got my saw.
You know what?
I'm going to start with my saw, because that one's not so much funny, but it's just amazing.
I'm sure it's amazing, but...
You know what? Let's start with the mail enhancement, and then I'll lead into the...
I haven't heard the mail enhancement one. I've heard the saw one before.
Yeah, we've already done the saw one.
Did I do it on
We've done the saw one. We haven't done the mail enhancement one.
So... we sold mail enhancements. I can't honestly remember which ones they were.
I don't know.
It was like it was supposed to make your thing grow bigger. It's a mail enhancement.
How it worked, and I honestly remember the script, but I'm not going to say it because that might be a copyright problem. But what it does is it opens up the blood vessels in your schwing and makes it to where you get better blood flow.
Which made you bigger.
I loved the questions that I got for that product. But go ahead.
I'm telling the story.
You're telling the story.
So what happened was I wasn't having a good night. People were just, what's the price? What's the price? Because when you call a telemarketer, they do not give you the price. If it's not, they don't immediately go into the script with a, "Hi, this is $9.95. Can I have your credit card?"
Right.
Because you'd hang up on them. You don't immediately call a telemarketer and just start handing out credit cards.
Anyways.
Well, if you're special, you might. Especially if the commercial doesn't include the price. So none of the ones that we sold did. So it made it so much harder to sell. So they were always, the whole night, just, "What's the price? What's the price? What's the price?" And I'm trying to get through explaining what it is and what it does. Like I'm supposed to. I've got a script. I've got to kind of stick to it. And it was just a bad night. I was getting more and more frustrated. I wasn't getting any sales. I was getting mad at people. And this guy calls, and the first thing he goes into was, "What's the price?" Commercial didn't say, "I want to know how much it is." And he had an attitude. So I'm like, I'm done. I honestly want to go home. I've been here for 6 hours. I haven't made a fucking dime. And I was angry, very angry about it. And I go, "It's a mail enhancement product, sir. Do you want it or don't you?" And he's like, "I wouldn't call if I didn't want it." I go, "Okay, great." And I started into the spiel, and he started interrupting me. and I'm trying to get through my script. And it's like, seriously, and I did the one taboo you're not supposed to do. I go, sir, please let me finish my script so that way I can tell you the price. And you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to mention the script at all. It's bad. Because if you do, that means they know you aren't really talking to them about the product. You're just reading. And the sale's gone. So, but I was so mad I didn't care. I was already under the conclusion that this was going to end in no money. So he just kept doing this thing where he'd interrupt, and then he finally made the fatal mistake of going, well, I don't even need this product anyway. I go, well, clearly you do, sir. You called the line. He goes, oh, I was curious. I go, well, sir, I've got a 10-inch dick, and I've never called a male enhancement line. I have never even considered calling a male enhancement line because I honestly think I'm actually a decent size. If you really think that you're, and by the way, his immediate fallback number was 13 inches. If you're really 13 inches like you claim to be, you wouldn't even be calling this line. So, Mr. Millimeter Peter, are you calling because you're interested or because your wife pushed you into this because she's unsatisfied with what you're putting out? Which is it? Because if it's her, put her on the line, because I'm pretty sure she'd actually listen to what this product does, because then she wouldn't have to deal with all of her battery-operated friends, and she'd actually be able to enjoy your company a little more. Am I getting a little close to the bell on this one? And I honestly thought he was going to hang up, and my manager is beyond livid because he's listening to the call. Because I just downright insulted the guy. He's like, no. And I'm like, oh, so what, 2 millimeters? 3 millimeters? Where are we flying here, buddy? And I'm mad, and I don't know the manager's still listening, so
You're being a dick.
Yeah, I'm pretty much trying to get him to hang up on me. So I'm being as mean as possible. And I nailed it how little he was. I insulted how his relationship with his wife was. I said she was probably cheating on him because he wasn't satisfying her, and he's going to the neighbor because clearly he actually has the 13-inch penis and probably bought our product. And I was just railing this guy, and he just sat there and took all of it. And his final question was, what's the price? And he said it so meekly. I'm like, it's this much for the basic package. And he goes, do you have any bigger packages? I'm like, sir, we have an Anaconda package. It is a 6-month trial for this much. He goes, okay, how do I get it? I go, okay, this is how we're going to do it. I need your name, your address, and your credit card number. He goes, name, address, credit card number. I'm like, all right, now I need the 3 numbers on the back of your card. Boom. We're going to send this out to you, sir. Thank you for your time and patience. Have a good day.
Best part about this, the Anaconda package did not exist. He made it up. It was a 6-month thing that he just was like, put it all in one giant order, and the guy bought it.
You could sell 1-month packages. I sold him 6. That's what I did. I bundled it all together. I said it was a 6-month package. I gave him no deal on it. I literally sold him at the price of 6 months worth of this product. It ended up being over $300.
Yeah, you got to keep your job because of that.
Oh yeah, I was not.
If that call had failed, you were getting fired that night.
Oh yeah, my manager came over and told me that. He goes, if that had not ended in a sale, I was going to walk you out the building.
Oh.
Because, yeah, we cannot have you insulting customers. I'm like, why? I get sales that way. But apparently I had just beaten this guy down so badly that he was like, okay, maybe I do need this.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Did you think of another one, Sally?
Honestly, no.
All right.
She's too busy laughing about me.
I'm busy laughing about you doing that.
All right, well, I'm going to share my craziest story, which is also from the telemarketing. I'll be honest, the last job that I had, I can't say what it is. All I can say is that I worked in a medical profession. Honestly, from the stuff that I remember from that, it's all a blur because it was just one giant stress thing. So, yeah. Ultimately, what happened with that last job was I quit because of the amount of mental and then eventual physical stress that it put on me after 4.5 years of dealing with the same bullshit. And there's more story to that.
Yeah, but
I'm not getting into it.
Get back to the crazy night.
No, I'm just saying as to why I'm not going to bring up what happened with that is because there was so much mental anguish over what happened and how I got royally fucked over. So no stories from that one. But back to the telemarketing one. Mm-hmm. This is the best story I have. I almost beat to death a 300-pound?
I'd say it was a little more than
300-pound male crackhead.
Coke fiend.
Almost same thing. Let me explain what had happened. Now, this is all from my perspective. You can add if you want to after.
Yeah.
Now, this was, again, during that point in time, during the telemarketing, when things are starting to die down. There's like maybe 15 of us there. So, I'm in the back. Phoenix is seated way down to my right, off by himself. One of our buddies is up in like the middle row, and he's just being, facetious because it's late. We haven't gotten any calls. What?
I thought we were sitting next to each other.
No, we were like 4 seats away because our manager person was like, I want people sectioned off. That way they can... I was training somebody, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then he wanted everybody sectioned off with like partners or whatever. I don't know who you were sitting with. Anyways, so... yeah.
I was sitting next to the guy who was...
No, you weren't. He was up 2 aisles. It doesn't matter. Shut up. You're ruining my story. Anyways, so one of our buddies up in the middle row is just, calling us back here names and stuff. And then, for some unknown reason, after about 20 minutes of this, fat-ass Coke fiend up in the top left aisle starts fucking yelling at our friend, and is just being a downright absolute jackass to him because he was acting like the other guy was, saying that stuff about him, which wasn't the case. He wasn't involved at all. And our friend over there is trying to defend himself, and then Phoenix all of a sudden starts telling him, what did you say?
What ended up happening was they were talking, the guy was getting upset because the guy had said something, and it was an irrelevant comment to another coworker.
Right.
The guy got mad, started going, well, let's go outside, motherfucker, and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, really quick to get your panties in a bunch, are you?
That's what you said. Okay. So, and then he said some other kind of retort.
He said something, and I immediately go, all right, here's what you're going to do. Pull up your skirt, unbunch your panties, and chill the fuck out.
Right, because he was getting heated to the point like his face was turning red. So anyway, from my perspective, he is still just going off. Phoenix is over here calm, cool, and collected, saying whatever back at him. Fat ass gets up from his seat. Wait.
Hold on. I had just recently got a call from a customer, so I am no longer involved in this conversation at all. I am now focused on my job and doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
That's why I was no longer involved.
Okay, well, again, my perspective, I didn't even know you were on the call because I was so focused on him. And mind you, I've got the trainee sitting right next to me asking me questions and stuff. And I had just completely blocked him out because I was curious as to what was going on. So, all of a sudden, fat-ass Coke fiend gets up and then starts walking. The reason that he's doing this is because the bathroom is actually directly behind where Phoenix is. So I didn't know you were on the call. While he's walking, he is talking shit the whole fucking way. Phoenix is on the fucking phone. Fat ass says something to him. Phoenix retorts and tells him, did you tell him to shut up because you were on a call?
No, what happened was I had just finished the call.
Oh, because it was a dud?
Yeah, it didn't end well for me.
Anyways.
So I just finished the call. I just hung up and I heard him say it right behind me, and I turned around and retorted to him.
Okay, and then he swelled up on you. I don't know if you saw that, but he swelled up on you. I get up, run over to where he is, stand in front of him. Mind you, at the time, I was honestly about 180 pounds soaking wet. And just stood there, arms out like T-model style, and I said, you better keep the fuck away from my husband, to this guy who's about 6 foot, 300 pounds, not muscle, and a Coke fiend. We all knew that he was doing something, either Coke, crack or speed something because he was nuts.
Well, here's the thing. At the beginning of the night, he was fine.
Oh, the one night that I found out that he was doing something was, we were pretty busy at the time. We had like 30 people there. He comes up. The manager is talking to somebody, and this is what he's doing. He's like, I got this, I'm doing whatever. And it's like, you do realize other people are on a call, right? Stop it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I'm standing there. He said some kind of sexist remark along the lines of, something, you're a woman, you should know your place and whatever. I don't know what the fuck he said, but it was just rude as fuck. And I just look at him and was like, sex has got nothing to do with it. I'm right where I need to be. He takes a step towards me. Phoenix gets the fuck up, and so does everybody else in the fucking room, and just stands up and swells up like, motherfucker, we dare you to touch our little redhead. He backs up. And I don't know what he said. I don't give a fuck. But he backs up and goes into the bathroom, most likely snorting up some more, whatever. I turn around to my buddy Charles, who is adorable. He was a doll. Oh, my God. And I don't like using the word doll, but he was a doll. I turn around and look, and Charles does this. He goes, I love it when a woman sticks up for her man.
Yeah.
It was just so, and I was like, that was a great icebreaker. Thank you.
Oh, the best part was, while she's talking to him about that, I look behind me and I see several people putting away their pieces.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff got put away.
Knives. This guy was not going to end well.
What Fat Ass failed to realize or even comprehend was a lot of our coworkers had interesting pasts. Either they were in jail or they lived in Syracuse their whole damn life. So you got to keep yourself protected. Everybody either had a knife, a gun, a shiv, something.
By the time he had taken a step towards Shweeby, I had already pulled my knife. I was going to jail because if he even so much as touched
my
her,
my hand was on a keyboard that I was ready to rip off the computer and beat his face in if he had taken one more step. If not that, the chair.
Here's the thing. I had honestly stayed in my chair because if I stood up, I was now an aggressor. So I stayed in my chair and just leaned back and just smiled at him. As long as he did nothing, he's just talking.
Right.
And I see no reason
he tried to be a bit more bite than bark. So what ultimately happened after this, he comes out of the bathroom. He is still talking shit. Oh, and our manager comes over asking what happened. We explain to him what had happened. And then we go and sit down. He gets Fat Ass to go into the side room, and all you hear is him screaming at the manager. I'm like, he does know that he's talking to his employer, right? So they come out of the room, and manager tells him to sit his ass down and do not say another word to them. But he just could not keep it together. He's over there running his fucking mouth, saying every sexist, rude possible thing, just talking shit about Phoenix, and just saying all kinds of rude shit or whatever. The manager, after hearing about a minute and a half of this, looks at him and says, get out, don't come back. You can pick your final check up next Friday or whatever. He was done. The dumbass got fired that night. Mm-hmm. So, moral of this story, kids, don't do drugs, especially if you work in telemarketing, because you'll either fuck up, lose your job, or you'll almost get killed.
No, he was honestly very lucky. We had a female coworker.
Oh, yeah. He was so lucky she was not there.
Because she'd have shot him right then and there.
She would have put more. She would have put way more. No, I'm saying she would have put way more than just a cap in his ass. That
little forward gesture that he did towards Shweeby would have got him shot right then and there, because she wouldn't have hesitated.
Right.
She actually was one of those who has been in the system and came out, and this was her trying to turn her life around. But the system does things to people, and she doesn't hesitate.
Right, but she also adored us, though.
She has a really nice 45.
Oh, yeah.
Which would have left holes in him large enough for me to see what was going on behind him.
But yeah, so that was our crazy event, and that was my perspective on it with a mix of Phoenixes. Yeah.
Although I've never heard of like a fat druggie. Aren't they always like normally skinny?
Maybe he had just started, or his munchies were so good that he just put it all back on twice.
Truthfully, we're not entirely. Here's the thing: it wasn't a normal fat. Like his arms were thin, his legs were thin, but his stomach looked like he had
it
three
was his
people
stomach,
inside.
And then like right here was kind of like
he had moobs.
He was also a tall motherfucker. He was like 6 foot something. I'm 5'7" so for me that's towering. So
I'm 5'11", so it's still
you're not
towering.
5'11", you're like 5'10". Don't lie.
I'm 6'3" in
that
heels.
whole inch makes a difference.
I'm 6'3" in heels.
All right. Did you think of another story, Sal?
Let me think. It's a pizza one, but it's still pretty entertaining.
Go for it.
So it's actually why I quit. Like, it's honestly why I quit, and it's like that's like with the bad ones. So you guys had your bad one. My bad one was the day after this happened, I quit. Like, I just walked out and quit. So that's how bad this event was.
Thanks.
It was in the summer, and it was about probably like 98 degrees, 99 degrees.
Ugh.
And it's bad enough when you're back in like a pizza kitchen, back in a restaurant, and like I was on the stove, I was like baking the pizzas that day. And by this time, the restaurant was actually bought out by new people. Like, it wasn't the same family that hired me, and they were great. Like, I love that family. They're wonderful. But then they sold the business to somebody else. So the company was, like, going to be changing names and everything after, a couple of months. Right. So these people came in. They fired 3 of our, like, senior managers and people to hire family who have been there for, like, 6-7 years because they wanted to give their teenage kids a job.
Excuse me?
Yeah. It gets worse. So they did not give us a chance to have a break because it was like, they're like, oh, it's super busy. It was like the 4th or something. Everyone wanted pizza. I forgot what freaking day it was. But everyone was like, we were in the freaking back, like, sweating. And it was getting so bad for me where the point where, like, I was ready to pass out. And the part that pissed me off the most was how they treated, it wasn't even me, it was another employee. We had a dishwasher who was Down syndrome, and he's like the sweetest, like, hardworking guy you'll ever meet. And he was like, "Are you okay? You don't look okay. Like, you need to sit down." I'm like, "They're not letting us sit down." And he was like, "I'll get you like a water. Like, go to the fountain and get me a cup of water." And because his dishes were done at the time, so he went and got me some water. They saw, they're like, why aren't you back with the dishes? He's like, it's done and the people need water in the back. And they were yelling at him, and he's been there since, like, the original owners owned it. Like, he's been working part-time dishwasher there for, like, 7-8 years. And he's, like, that staple. Like, you walked in, you knew this guy. Like, if you didn't see, like, the dishwasher, it wasn't the same kind of feeling kind of thing.
Right.
And so by the time he got back there, like, I was already sweating. Like, I was I was going to step outside, and I, like, passed out.
Damn.
And he was like, and he was freaking out. All the other people still working there was, like, freaking out. And they're like, we need a break. People are passing out. So he, like, he got me, like, this little fan. And, like, sat me outside and put, like, this little fan and, like, made sure I was cool and everything. And then I walk back in after he, like, brings me, like, a cinna stick and, like, some water to eat. And then I come back in there, and they're like, you realize you left, right? I'm like, I passed out. I couldn't work. I passed out. And at that point, like, I just, like, removed, like, the apron, and I just threw it down, and I walked out.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not coming back. You cannot treat your people this way. I'm going to fire, like, your most experienced people who've been working here since it opened and who've worked managing other restaurants before. You fired them and hired your teenage kids who have no idea what they're doing. All the drivers are terrible now. They're always late. And I walked out. And then the next day, some bullshit was they hired my friend the next day. Because they're like, they hired someone right away. But then she told me that, I was like, oh, say hi to, I'll just say, K for first letter. Say hi to K for me. And he was a dishwasher. And she was like, there's no one there with that name. I'm like, no, he's been there since the beginning. He's still there. It's like, oh no, someone told me, like, they yelled at him and were, like, making fun of him, and he just walked out.
That's horrible.
He left, too. Yeah, and I was like, that was the last time I ever worked in fast food, and I never planned to go back.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the bad story.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I didn't even collect my paycheck. I didn't even care. Like, I had to go in and collect it, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, because then I started school, like, I think 2 months later, and I went to school, and I got, like, financial aid checks, so I'm like, yeah, that was something else, but I'm like, nope, I'm not stepping place in there again. And then I find out it barely lasted 6 months with those owners, and then it got taken over by another place, and that pizza's great now. Like, I love that place. I don't know if you guys have, like, a Brothers Pizza over there, but it is so good. It's, like, gourmet pizza. And so they took over that spot where my old workplace used to be, and now it's, like, flourishing. They have, like, 3 locations.
Damn.
And it's, like, great. So I'm like, well, looks like, something better came out of that because they drove that business in the ground and a better place popped up. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You treat your employees well, they work hard for you. They work hard for you, your sales go up. Your sales go up, your customers, you're happy. But even more so when your employee is working hard, that means they're doing right by your customer. When your customer's happy, they buy more. When they buy more, your bottom line gets bigger, which means you get to go and expand to a second store and do all these things. And people don't understand that bottom line is your employees make the store. Without them, you have nothing.
Yeah. And as soon as the dishwasher was gone, like, because he was, like, the light of that place. Like, every single time kids would come in, he would be like, hi, kids, how are you doing? He'd be the one who would greet people. He'd be the one he'd like to dress up as, like, Santa around Christmas time. He would, like, dress up like the Easter Bunny at one point. Like, he was just, like, the heart and soul of that place. And even when the managers left, it was still kind of, the spark was there because of him. And when he left, the whole place just died.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.